Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's Tuesday, which means new comics are hitting bookstores all across the world. So Amazon, Barnes & Noble, stuff like that is where you can go get some trades that have been out in comic book shops for a few weeks at this point. Marvel's hooked us up with one of their trades. This is the Nemesis contract from Cable Comics back in 1993. Collects issues 59 through 70. Annual 99, and then X-Men number 45 through 47. It's written by Joe Casey, Karl Bollers, Michael Higgins, and Terry Kavanagh, and illustrated by Jose Ladronn, Stephen Platt, Andy Smith, German Garcia, Alitha, E. Martinez, Mark Pajarillo, and J.H. Williams III. So I don't remember reading this when it first came out. 93, it's kind of surprised me with the 93, so this is the 93 Cable. So let's see here. So we're at 50-something issues. Let's say 12 a year. So this is probably about 97-ish, which is probably about when I stopped reading comics. Actually, probably a little bit later than I would stop reading comics. So this is towards the tail end when I was starting to wind down after a long time collecting. So there's probably makes sense as to why I wasn't reading this at that point in time. So Cable from this point, like, he was interesting. It was a lot about the history of the character, who was his parentage, strife, stuff like that. To put this in context, the legacy virus is still going on at this point in time. I think Cable's still kind of figuring things out. This is post-Age of Apocalypse. Nate Gray is running around. So, this has a lot to do with a whole bunch of history that's going on, a lot of continuity. So if you don't know the continuity, or at least even the basics of this, most of this is probably going to be gibberish. There's like blacksmiths in this, which is a character I think I dropped out before Blacksmith was introduced. And yeah, I mean this is kind of like a jumble for the most part. If you could overlook not knowing all that stuff, it's some entertaining stories. Feels very like blockbuster, big movie, don't think a whole lot type of stories. There's actually a whole bunch of arcs in here. There's one about agents, or S.H.I.E.L.D. agents trying to capture Cable, and she uses a technovirus for something. There's another one having to do with the return of Strife. And after that is, I'm trying to think what the other ones are. Some stuff with the Avengers. And yeah, I mean, it's, there's a lot packed in here, basically. There's a lot packed in here. And, there's some good and some bad. Some of it really works, some of it doesn't. This is early Joe Casey, and he even admits that, this is when he's still kind of learning to really write comics. So, a little bumpy here and there. It's interesting to see how some things have changed since then. There was definitely some writing techniques then that I don't really think we've seen that much today, or we do see much at all today. The action's good. Like, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of fighting. It's kind of like that, it's that turn your brain off comic action, like, stories. Like, there's not much depth to this at all. What is interesting out of this is there's clearly influences in this, and even Casey himself admits that there's influences in this from some of the greats. I mean, there's straight up Kirby riffs, or attempt to do some riffs on Kirby in the various comics. Let's try to find some good examples. I really should have just saved some examples, because it's kind of crazy, the stuff out there. Like, that right there seems very Kirby in the style. Like that. We got, like, the Kirby crackles going on all over the place. It's interesting. So, I mean, it's kind of, while it's very 90s, there's also clearly, like, an homage a bit to what has come before, which is good, or at least interesting. Some of it works, some doesn't work. Some of the art's fantastic, some of it's very blah. With so many artists, like, it's not too shocking about that. The stories themselves are okay. There's nothing to me that jumps out and says, holy crap, this is absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, this is very Kirby-inspired artwork here. And yeah, like, it's good. This is actually very Kirby again. So, like, it's good. This is one of those things, like, if you are a Cable completist, if you're a huge fan of the character, you want to collect these comics, it's worth it. I mean, it's $34.99. You're getting 11, 12, like 13 issues roughly for it, so you're getting, you know, less than $3 an issue. As far as extras, there's a little bit of extras. A couple articles that are in there. There's covers. That's about it. Basically, I mean, this is a trade to read if you haven't read it before, and you know, it's kind of fun to see the influences and these creators trying to do some of their, you know, like an homage to some early creators, basically. Yeah, you know, it's one of those, like, if you're a diehard Cable fan, go for it. Is this one like you absolutely have to get? Probably not, but it's entertaining. Let's go with that. It's entertaining. I don't know if I would pay $34.99, but you know, if I found it for like $15, definitely. If I found it for $20 and there was like nothing else to read, probably would get it at that point. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's at. And yeah, man, there's not much else to say. You should go to your comic shop if you want to get this. First and foremost, they can order it and get it on their shelves if they don't have it already. Go support your local comic shops. If you don't know if you have a shop near you, there's a link beneath this. You put in your zip code, it'll tell you if there's a shop near you. If there is no shop near you, we've got some affiliate links beneath this video. Those affiliate links are exactly like that I said. They're affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage of those. But by buying through that, you do support our site, so thank you very much for that. I, of course, want to thank Marvel for hooking us up with this trade. As always, thank you for the support, and thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Now, if you're into Marvel, if you're into Cable, if you're into X-Men, if you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, as always, make my Marvel, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.